Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for another great spotlight session. Today's guest, we have our very own Tulika Bhanu. Yay, Tulika! Tulika is one of our top producing agents. She's been in the business for maybe 4 years.
Three and a half to be
I
precise.
was gonna okay, three and a half to be precise. Good. And she's here to give us just a little bit of background on, when she got started, why she got started, how she got to where she is now, Circle of Excellence winner, all that good stuff. So I'll let Tulika take it away, and then I'll also be interviewing her and ask questions. You guys can also chime in and ask her questions as well as we get some more information from her. So, Tulika, first question, the obvious one. Uh, what brought you into real estate?
All right. I came here on a dependent visa, so I was out of work. And I have been working ever since high school. So staying at home was not my thing. So when I got my work visa, I started to look for work, and I was starting to look for my houses too. I didn't get a lot of nice response from the agent that I was working with, and I said, "How hard this could be? Let me work it out. How hard? What would it take for me to be an agent?" And my husband said, "You should try." I said, "Listen, I've never sold anything in my life. Um, uh, I work, I go, I come back, I eat and drink and have party, and that's okay." But selling something was not my cup of tea. So I said, "No, I will not be selling stuff, but let me see how much harder it can be." So I just
Mhm.
started. See, my first 6 months agenda was whatever I had invested in real estate, I should be taking it back. So I really wanted my $3,000 back that I had invested in overall. So that's how it started, and ever since that, I just fell in love with the work.
Nice, nice, nice. So when you got started, what were some of your biggest challenges?
Oh, I think during the first month I joined Real. When I got my license activated, it was with Real, and I had no idea what I was doing. I thought I'll get my license, clients will be popping here and there, and brokerage will give me clients, and I'll be just making money. But that was not the scenario, and I was truly lost to what should I be doing next. So 1 month I was just panicking, going on this call, every other call that I could grasp. But then I saw a post that somebody had posted on Instagram saying 6 months of excuses or 6 months of results. I said I don't have 6 months. I have to go ahead and get my $3,000 back. So I went and joined nearest Keller Williams near me, and it was in Rutherford. So I joined there, and that's how it's all started. I was every day after the kids were at school. I was in the office from 8:30 till 2:30. So just whoever agent came in the office, I just used to copy them, see what they are doing. I was very shameless in going ahead and asking, "How did you get to be where you are?" And they was like, "Okay, we just did the work." And I was like, "Okay, what next?" So I started observing and studying them. And I will always tell every new agent, find your mentor. It doesn't have to be on papers. Like you have to write, "Oh, I'm your mentor. I'll be helping you out." Just follow whoever you can. If you feel like, "Oh, Lawrence is the best. I like how he works," just see what he does and just try to copy, paste.
Mhm.
That's what I did in my first 6 months. And first 6 months, I went door knocking in my community because I was living in a rental apartment. And I went door knocking everybody to ask for work. And everybody, "Oh, you just started. You max to max you'll get is a deal or so in the first 2 years." I said, "First 2 years, I don't have time for that." So I made a target for that. 6 months is the maximum I was giving myself. I have to do two deals that year. And I did
Mm.
that.
Nice, nice, nice. So the gems that I'm getting out of what you're saying is number one, invest into yourself when you're getting into real estate. That's top priority. Um,
Absolutely.
Number two, follow those who already are successful, right?
Absolutely.
Find a mentor. And number three, get to work.
Get to work. Just don't give yourself any excuse, because excuse will definitely pop up. Why you're not getting this, why you don't have abs, because you're eating and drinking, and you cannot have abs with that. If you're not working, you'll not have the result. So
Mhm.
invest in that and just don't expect it to be. there for you immediately. So it does work out, and real estate is a long game.
Absolutely. Real estate is definitely the long game. I also liked that you said you gave yourself 6 months. Like you put a timeline on when you were going to get these get your listing within 6 months. You put a timeline on it and you just went to work. You put your head down and said, all right, every day I have to go at this. I only have 6 months in order to get this listing. And you ended up with two.
Yes. So that's why what we say is we have time. What the new agents or who are in the business, they sometimes think, they, oh, this time we'll do it next month or next 6 months, next year. We don't have time. If there anything that we are running out of is time. So just to keep a target to yourself. That's why if you have a target, to achieve the goal becomes more better.
And when did you join Cornerstone?
I joined in 23 January. I got my license in April 22. I
Hmm
joined Keller Williams Rutherford in May. And then after 6 months, I bought one client was a taxi driver from New York. And he got the house and I got the house. These were the two. I bought my house and his house. They were two first transactions that I did. And I
hmm
shifted to East Brunswick. And here
hmm
I did not know anyone. Even in Rutherford, also the community that was there, very rarely you do knock out of 100 you get one, two, or three leads, and that too will that whether they would be working with you, the chances are rare. Again, it depends upon how quickly you can convert. So the concern for me was when I shifted here, I again started to door knock. Door knocking helps me a lot because on the phone you can just keep the phone, but when you door knock and somebody opens the door, they're right on your face, and to be rude on the face is something that not all the people like to do. They can be rude on the
hmm
phone. Oh, she doesn't know me, I don't know her, I haven't seen her, and she's not coming to my house ever. So that gives them a little leverage to be
hmm
to should keep the phone down. But you're on the face, the people out of yes, etiquettes, don't slam the door, or sometimes they would. I won't say they wouldn't. I had my fair shares, but the number of people who were nice to me, there were more than the one that shut the door.
hmm I like that strategy of getting out there and getting in front of the people rather than hiding behind some texts and emails and things like that that a lot of us like to do instead of jumping out there and getting putting yourself out there and getting in front of people in the community. I think that's a big huge plus for you to be able to have that courage to do so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like talking to people. So I think this nature of mine helped me out in this business because I genuinely like talking and getting information from people, like what they are, how it does their life, and like their life feels like it's a new chapter that I would not be living, but I can actually learn from somebody what they are going through, what happened to them. That's a very nice way. It's like a movie for me. Like you're just listening. Oh yeah, what happened next? What's next? Tell me more.
Right. I see we have a couple of questions. Ruby, do you have a question?
Oh, hi. No, actually, it's really, I know her and she is amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Um,
Ruby.
Thank you. And I know her nature is one of the best I could imagine. That she couldn't not make any friends is highly impossible.
Yeah,
She is
that's very
wonderful.
true.
Yeah. So, yeah, I
Um,
think I would want to know the challenge. Again, the same question which Lawrence is asking. Um, Initially, when you like started, um, how did you made the plan and how did you made the budget?
Okay. Well, my first thought was that income, whatever I'm trying to learn should be for free. I should not be paying for a coaching or a plan or something additional like Zillow or anything. I haven't even ever done Zillow till now, but my concern was if I am giving that if I'm getting business, then I can invest in business. So I
mhm.
started, my first earning was $40 here. Like I went to show a house and one of the agent paid me $40. Like I
Great.
got $40, and believe. I was so happy with my first earning. I could say that that was my earning. I literally I had a portion there in front of my God, and I was like, "Oh, I earned first. This is my first salary, or whatever." So that's how it started, and I don't take anything for granted. I just tell.
Mm,
Then I started. Number one is I invested only when I was earning. Two, I took all the free resources that I could. I go on David Radney's calls from the day one. So I have been on his calls, be it the master, morning mindset, be it the script practice, be it the role play. I have been on all his calls. Number two, I went to all early. I don't know whether you all are aware. Early bird talking real estates. That's on the clubhouse. It starts at 6:30 in the morning. Morning. It's Ellie McIntyre. She does this call, and it's amazing. It's a free resource that I think a lot of us just don't. I think because of the timing or whatever, it goes unnoticed. But it's amazing call. It gives you so much insight on what you can do. And I take notes. I just, if you see me, I will always be with a pen, or I'll steal somebody's pen or pencil. I am already always scribbling it down. So whenever somebody tells me something, I scribble it down and make sure that if I can, I follow it. If I believe in that line, I do follow that particular thing.
mhm,
So I use my
Great.
resources and I copy, paste, cut, copy, paste, and I try to use people, whatever they have done and how they reached. I try to question them.
mm,
Could you repeat that early bird thing and
Yeah,
the
yeah. Early bird talking real estates. It's
talking
6:30 in
real
the
estate?
morning. It's a call on Clubhouse, and you also go back and listen to the recordings. So they have 5 days a week. They do calls Monday to Friday, and they have a topic for each day. And
mm,
a lot of things that we come to know later on, I think I get a knowledge beforehand on those calls, because they anything that comes up, it's there. We talk about Chat GPT, we talk about Notebook LM, talk about anything that's coming new, it's already
mm,
there.
It is
mm.
Bhanu.
Cool. Abhishek, you also have a question?
Yeah, I do have a question. I joined few minutes late. Lawrence, I apologize. And I missed the important part when Tulika was explaining that she was doing. Did you say no, door knocking, Tulika?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So one question related to that, like how do you know that you are not um breaking any kind of like municipality rules and regulations? Because I heard that you cannot just go on door knock, you can
I
leave your
know.
note. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I don't. I just do it. I had also got. I had done once in Edison, and I got a notice from the HOA that my lawyers will be talking to you, but I still do it.
Okay.
Um, I apologize. It's.
So, so to answer your question, Abhishek, in the best way, what you would do is you would just reach out to the municipality. You can call the county clerk's office, and you can ask them about door knocking in specific neighborhoods,
Mhm.
and they'll tell you if it's allowed or not. That's how you would formally do that.
or
Tulika,
else go in the evening time during the summer, spring,
Mhm.
and just people are around outside, just talk to them.
right.
Usually in the townhomes you would find people walking around,
Mhm.
Right.
so just
That's the
walking to them
yes, that's the
and
other side
bump
of
into
it is
them.
right, is just walking the neighborhood and seeing people that are already outside without actually knocking on their doors.
Yeah.
Turlika's a little bit of an outlaw, but she got it done. So, by any means necessary, I'm
Yeah.
here
Yeah.
for it. I'm here
Yeah.
for it. Um,
I mean, I don't mind.
yeah.
Okay.
No, I
I
know.
understand.
This had kept me when I came here in East Brunswick. I was like, oh, don't know people, take it otherwise. And I was like, okay, what should I do? I was paralyzed because for 6 months I thought, if I can't do knock, what will I do? I
Mhm.
make calls. It was not that connecting, but I do make calls on a regular basis. I do DT D2 if I to the core. I do TT DT D2 every day. I have
Mhm.
here schedule also on my desk, so I keep it there, and I take every week which numbers to call. So,
That's awesome. So, how do you get those numbers? Is my another question, Tulika.
oh, I have I go on Mojo.
Hmm.
I take their data only from stuff, and I cut, copy, paste, and keep it here. And I keep, if I cancel it up, I have the neighborhood search number, so I give them a call on those numbers. They have right now. They have the do not call list. They don't give the numbers for that, and there are other different means as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So Mojo, if you didn't know, Mojo is a dialer, is a like a lead source kind of thing that you pay into. You can get a subscription for it, and they give you numbers, emails, things like that. So that goes into her investing, like she said, investing into her business. We do have another question in the chat.
But
How hard is it to
sorry,
get?
can you repeat how to get like this by technical issue? So how she gets the numbers?
I'm sorry, your mic's breaking up a lot. Can you write your question in the chat?
Okay.
Yeah. Um, Another question in the chat is, how hard is it to get started for someone who wants to start part-time? Tulika, did you start part-time?
No, I went full time.
So what do you think of the challenge of someone getting started part-time?
I would say start part time and make it a full time.
Here we go.
No, because it's challenging. I know a lot of people that, and I'm amazed how they are doing it. But I could say that there's a one benefit to it. When you're starting part time, you already have a job where you are doing it full time, and you
Hmm.
have people. You have a means to connect to people over there. So if you're going
Hmm.
to an office, do that. I used to, when I started, I had to take my kids to classes every single now and then, going here, school, pick up, talking to the parents. Then I was, when should I do my prospecting? Then I said, these are my prospects. So my daughter, she's in second grade now. She tells me, please don't talk to my friends' parents because you end up getting them relocated. So I started. She literally said, please don't meet my friend's parents, mama. And then when she's so that's what I think. I go by this line: bloom where you're planted. So if you're in your office, try to prospect in your office. Where you're standing in at a bus stop, try to promote yourself over there, if that
Make
makes sense.
No, it makes sense. I mean, I would say most agents, especially nowadays, are part-time agents. So, my advice would be to, figure out what you do during those days when you do have time of not working, or those times where you can time block some time in. And what you're going to do is you're going to figure out what you're going to do at those times for real estate activities, because real estate is something you have to do every single day. There are no days off from this. So even when you are working, real estate can still be talked about. You can still do real estate while you're at work. That's the beauty of it. Real estate is nothing more than a conversation. So have as many conversations as you possibly can, and go for it.
Yes, we are paid. What James Shaw says that we are paid for our conversation. So
Right,
track your conversation and see, oh, my conversation was worth this much. So
right, right. We do have another question in the chat. Question is how to get phone numbers. Can you repeat or summarize it again?
there are different lead generation sources where you can go ahead and subscribe to it, and they would be charging you monthly. You also do get dialers where you can get Vulcan 7, Mojo, Land something,
Land voice or Red
Landers,
X.
Red
But
X.
yeah, there's a bunch of different ones that you can search for. I will say a lot of them are expensive.
Mhm.
Especially if you're just starting out, you want something that's kind of a low cost, low budget kind of thing. The best thing to do is to get into your neighborhood and start door knocking and start walking around and meet people and things like that. It Those are free.
Yes,
That
I was
Hey
about to say.
Lawrence, what
yeah,
is a dialer? Sorry to interrupt. What is a dialer? I keep hearing that.
A dialer is an auto dialer. So basically, like Vulcan 7 Land Voice, they give you a list of numbers and it literally auto dials it for you, kind of like a telemarketing kind of thing, where it's like you put your headset on or whatever you're using, it auto dials numbers for you continuously. And once you end the call, it's gonna auto dial another number for you, and it just keeps continuous
And it's
kind of
a
situation.
subscription basis, and you said like Mojo is one of them.
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
sure. Um. Do any of you else have any more questions? I think we're
I
getting
just had
some
a quick question about that.
good.
Again, the early bird talking real estate in the clubhouse. Is that it in the Keller Williams clubhouse? Is that what you mean? Or somewhere else?
No,
No, that's
it's
go
a
ahead,
weird,
Tulika.
it's a weird app called Clubhouse. I downloaded it like about 3 years ago, and on that you just whenever I have signed up for early bird talking real estate, so whenever early in the morning at 6:30 the pop up comes, and I just click it on, and wherever I am on my headset on, I'm usually at the gym at that time, so it automatically I listen to the half an hour call for that. So
Okay.
I can send you the link.
Okay.
Cool. We do have some other questions in the chat. How do you start conversations at kids' classes? Do you just start with your self intro? Like how did you do it when you were talking to going to drop your kids off at school and everything, Tulika?
I'll tell you, yesterday I took my kid to a swim class and I got two leads from there. One, I had already met her before and I had seen her somewhere. And I just said, oh, if I'm not wrong, you're from this. And then we started talking. And she said, yeah, I just stay right now, next to you. We have met like long time back. And then we started a conversation and said, oh, I think she should have a play date. That was a different one. However, the one that I really, she just was sitting next to me, and then we said, "Which one is your kid?" Just start with a normal, like it shouldn't be fake. Oh, you have a lovely hair, and she's a messed up hair. So so it just started with the conversation, and then it came up that she was from South Brunswick coming to East Brunswick. I said, "What brought you here?" And then one after another, it goes in a pattern. So she said, "We shifted from Chicago. We don't like New Jersey." I said, "Really? Shifted from Chicago? That means she's renting. She doesn't have a house right now. Of course, within 6 months she would not be buying over here." And then I started talking more and more, and by the end of 10-15 minutes, I had a number. I knew what her husband does, what she does, she spends the day, where she goes, what she likes to do in New Jersey, what kind of houses she's looking for, what would
Mm,
be her rental right, and when does her lease expire. So with this
mm,
15 minutes of conversation, I had all the MO, all the information, the bullet. It's like in my head, number one, tick. I was already pre-qualifying her in the swimming class.
hmm
So I
And
have the number, and I'm sure it does. Within this 6 months, I follow a pattern where I give her a call, I give her a text, then again I call, and sometimes any special occasion, Happy New Year or Happy Diwali or Happy Christmas, I just tend to add to conversation, and then boom, I call her up. Are you ready to get the house?
nice. So what I heard is engaging conversation, number one, don't be fake or phony.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure it's authentic and genuine. Number two, get as much information as you possibly can during that conversation. Ask questions, be inquisitive, continue
Yeah.
the conversation.
Yes, pre-qualifying or having a
Right,
buyer consultation doesn't have to be on the table right
right.
across each other. You are there. Just make sure that you have your questions memorized. I had
Hmm
when I was in my first year, I used to write down all the questions. What are the pre-qualification for a buyer? What is the pre-qualification questions for seller? So
hmm
here I already have those questions, so I don't have to check my notes or go back to my scripts to check what questions do I need to ask. So
hmm
if you're new, just scribble it down. Just take a pen, pencil in your hand, and write it down.
Right.
Tulika, hi Pragya.
Hi,
Uh,
Pragya.
I I have one question. How you get your offer accepted?
Me, first, I know my numbers. If I'm doing a condo in East Brunswick, I know exactly how many condos are there, how much they are going for, which this particular condo, why it should be going other than the other one. So I am very thorough with the number. I do a thorough CMA for my client, even if I know when in a multiple offer situation, it doesn't matter. But you need to know what your house is worth. Then you can have the confidence of asking your buyer to bid how much more that you can. So when you want, number one, number is know your numbers. Number two, connect with the listing agent, because we listing agent is not somebody who is working against you. They also want to get the
Mhm.
house sold. So their first thing is to make sure that there is an agent who is willing to work with them rather than against them. We are not two different sides of the river, right? We have to make sure that we work in accordance to them. So first,
Mhm.
know your number. Two, connect with the listing agents, see what they are looking for, and what can help it better. If they already have multiple offer situation, which we mostly do, then you move out and ask right questions to the agent about whether they have the offers, how much offer they have, how much above asking it is going. It doesn't matter how much offer they have, because if they have only one offer, still you're in competition with the other one. So usually
Mhm.
if they have 15 offers, actually the first top three are the ones they are competing. The others are
Mhm.
just numbers. So you need
Mhm.
to know your numbers very thorough and
Thank
connect
you,
with the listing
Tulika.
agent. Welcome.
Cool. We have another question in the chat. This is a good question. How is KW better than the brokerage you started your career with?
Oh, but there were some. See, if you are already an established agent, Real would be good for you. It's all cloud based, or sometimes they have a team as well. But when I started, I was naive. I did not know anything. Imagine me expecting the broker to give me the leads and I'm working on them. How, how naive I could be. I was like, nothing is working. I lost 6 pounds in my first month. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. I said, like, what am I doing? Did I take the right decision of getting into real estate? I could have taken a job or done something else. So when you are with the real, I was not getting what I was looking for. I wanted people to be around me, and I'm a people person. If the people are not around me, it drives me crazy. I get depressed. Even
Mm,
during the COVID, I used to be the only person who was outside, because yeah, I used to think if COVID won't kill me, the loneliness will kill me. So every time I used to try to connect, and there was no connection there in real. I could only speak on the phone and listen to the calls, and that was not helping. I need to see it to believe it. So when I went to
mm,
Keller Williams, they were like not coming with welcoming hands and saying, "Oh, you're the best." I had to follow them continuously, and it doesn't take a day or so. It takes time. Even if you're trying to learn from any agent here, don't expect them to give them a call and say, "Oh, you do this, you do that." Just go and ask for help. Be say shameless in asking for help. If you are, it doesn't matter when you're selling and listing and buying and renting, and your number speaks for yourself. So just go ahead and ask for help. If they help, that's great. If they don't, that's fine as well. But rarely people don't help. Yeah, I think
mm,
in real estate is one of the, I have changed 4 careers. So I know real estate is the one where meet people who are willing to help you out.
mm. Very true. Very true. Another question is, what materials do you prepare and bring when you do door knocking?
Uh, Usually I carry something with me, some information about what house got sold. Usually I do circle prospecting. I
Mm,
take the house that has been sold in that area, and I just go ahead and do knock and say, this house got sold for this much. Do you know how much it is, your house is worth? Do you also are planning in near future where you're thinking about selling or buying? And then sometimes I end up getting the tenants. So I go there. Oh, I'm thinking of buying myself, and then I write it down. I think with the buyers, buyers feel that they don't have control over the situation, and when you are working with buyers, you need to make sure that they are the one that feel that they are the one that are in control of the situation. And first
mhm,
time home buyers, they don't have that much money, right? So they feel that they're not equipped enough to buy a house. But if you can put a 5% down with 700K house, and you know that 700K, you are buying the house. So that money is yours. So I empower my buyer that it's because of them that their seller is able to sell. So our job is either to
mm,
get number one, business, and number two is close the business. These are the only two work I think that real estate agents have to do.
mhm. I would absolutely agree with that. We have to have as many conversations as possible and close as many deals as possible. It's that's about it.
Don't and don't cry over the one that doesn't get closed, or they leave you and go. There are so many, it will happen. I have cried enough. Everybody will have the fair share of crying, because it does happen. It does happen, no matter what. Your friends, your client who has been working with you for some time, and they do go away. And if I or anybody will tell you otherwise, you can only get over it by crying enough. So
Right.
have as many as no's as possible.
I have a question. How do you deal with, because I'm sure you've definitely dealt with this, after doing door knocking and having so many conversations. How do you deal with rejection?
I cry. I cry. I have.
That's so real. That's real. That's real. Sometimes you gotta let it out. Sometimes, listen, you gotta build that tough skin
Oh
to
my
deal with
God.
that
I think
rejection.
I shared with Pragya, I recently sold a house to a buyer and they listed with Jane Muller. I was like, oh, no, again, this was the third time happening. I was like, no way.
Yeah.
That's so
Quick
real.
question. Can you help me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, like if like you submit offer full price for a buyer and they go other offer and still like seller and the listing agent to kind of keeping that offer and shopping other that we have full price and all that, how you go after that? How you handle this situation?
Uh, oh, where'd she go?
No, I'm here. What was the
Oh.
question? I'm sorry.
So, did you get the question?
I think it'll be better if you, because your mic we can't really hear you through the mic you're using. Just if you could type your question in the chat.
He's trying to ask that if he already made an offer on a property, the property is listed for 1.45, and he made a very good offer, and but the seller didn't accept based on the listing agent, and they are still waiting to get another better offer or good offer. So he's confused what is happening.
Call the listing agent, ask what does the good offer look like.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, I mean, she
Tulika,
said
how do you keep bouncing around?
seller doesn't accept it, and buyers are saying that they have given a very decent and very good offer, very close to asking.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So they don't want to bring up the offer, even though looks like there is no other offer, right? Um,
Yeah. It's the regular. Number one, ask the buyers, call the seller, seller agent, and ask what is seller exactly looking for. Is the market telling him, see the numbers? If is the market telling you that the similar kind of houses were sold recently with above asking or whatever he's looking for, and why is this house worth that much? Third, if he doesn't get that offer, what the price that he's looking for, would he withdraw the offer and not sell the house? Is that also an option for him? Is he serious about selling? So just ask the questions that make the seller think whether they are really serious about selling or they are just checking the market.
Hmm. I agree. I agree because serious sellers they're ready to go. They're not gonna wait until they get a better offer, especially in this market. We're still in the winter market, so you're not really seeing that much influx of multiple offer situations and things like that. Certain properties maybe, but for the most part, it's not really a big thing that's happening right now.
Plus, yeah, you have to ask the seller the listing agent the right questions, like
Right,
when are the sellers willing to move out? That will answer that question in a short that, oh, they're not in a hurry to move, or
right.
oh, they are just, you'll get that answer because that's the thing. You have to ask the right questions first to analyze rather than thinking that why are they doing this or that. It's
Right.
hard. It's hard.
Yeah, I agree. But that's great insightful question to ask, Ruby, which is when do the sellers plan on moving? That'll tell you everything. Oh, they're not in a rush. Oh, then they're just, who
Testing the market.
yeah, they're just testing the market. Or they have to leave in the next 30 days, or they have another property that they need to close on first and things like that. They'll be a little bit more, rushing to get out of there and get to closing if they have something else they're possibly moving to do. I would say. But the best option, I would say as well, agreeing with Tulika and Ruby, is to speak to the listing agent. It's the only way to get um, any true clarification on what's going on.
Yep.
Cool, cool. Tulika, one I guess we'll start to close, but one last question. How did you get into Circle of Excellence? What was that like for you? Like what was that first year of doing it? Was last year your first year or the year before?
No, I last year, no, the year before.
Year
I got it
before.
for 24 and 25. This started, I'll tell you, when I was joining Cornerstone, I met Nina Sampath in January 2023. Then I joined Keller Williams, and she told me about, oh, are you applying for Circle of Excellence? I said, I'm just 6 months old. And first I asked, what is that? Then she said, okay, these are the units that you do, and this is something very nice. It's good to be recognized, and it just motivates you. And she gave me a good information about that. And then I saw last year I did two transaction in the month of 6 months time, and
Mhm,
two rentals. So would that be enough? She said, no, these are the units, and this is how it works. So then I went ahead and checked what exactly it is. 23, I thought I would be making it up, but again, I couldn't, because I was for 3 months I was in India and during the
mhm,
summer vacation. So
mhm,
June, July, August, and then I came in September and had to restart it again. So September to December, so I couldn't make it. I had 9 transactions that year. Next day, in the 2024, I made it a target. I have here written on my desk my what I want to achieve, and then I work towards it. So I go from downwards to up, like I said, how soon I can reach. So that's how I did it in 2024. It was bronze. And this year, I definitely wanted to level up. And
mhm,
by units, I think you should be very strategical about how, if you are going to work for Circle of Excellence, the rental
mhm,
does count. And I usually used to ignore the rentals. So because they
mhm,
take time, and then you run around with the tenant. If you have a listing, great. If
mhm,
the tenant is there, it doesn't. They don't want to pay your commission. They don't want to work with you, and they hop around a lot. They don't
mhm,
sign it up, so it doesn't give you the time. But definitely, rental helps you in getting the units towards their Circle of Excellence. It gave me it. The best part was my clients were calling me and said, "Oh, why are you silver? You should be gold. You're
mhm.
the best." So that was giving me more motivation to do it. Sometimes people say it's a paid award. You are paying for the certificate. We are paying for the certificate, but we are not paying for the work that we did. So it's recognizing the number of units and the volume that we did. It's our own.
Mhm,
And I just don't know. I feel like being in the spotlight, the
mhm.
awards and some recognition always goes a little longer for all my cries.
Yeah. Well, what I noticed mostly is a pattern with successful agents of, if you guys aren't noticing this, it's something to pick up on is they keep all their goals and everything they want to do right in front of them. Like
Mhm.
she's pulling down her D2D2, which is her database that she goes through every day. She's pulling down her goals that she has that are set up for her that she's working towards every single day. They're right in front of her. She doesn't have to search for them. She doesn't have to look
This
for
was my
them.
last year. I counted one by one and I wrote it down. Am I reaching my goals? And if I'm not reaching my goals, I panic. I can't sleep. Then I go again, because nobody is going to come and tell me, oh, why did you do 20 units? Why didn't you do 25? Or why did you do, oh, it's 15. You already made the Circle of Excellence. Why you need to go to silver? It's you have to motivate yourself, and motivation
Hmm.
is underrated. I think it's nothing to do with motivation. It's just doing the same boring stuff every day. Anybody will say it, whoever is doing it. I don't like going to the gym every day at 5:30, waking up at quarter to 5 just to be ready to go to the gym, and it's still I do it because
It's discipline, not
it's
motivation. It's discipline.
discipline.
It's sticking to what it is that you said to yourself that you were gonna do.
Yes, and
Right.
that's really hard, because if you're at the job, you know what to do and you're doing it and you're getting paid.
Hmm.
Here, nobody is telling you what to do, and that's the
Right.
worst part. My daughter wrote a resolution for 2026. I will be doing all the things by myself without my mom telling me to. I was like, this should be the motivation for every real estate agent,
Mm-hmm.
doing
Right.
everything without anybody telling you what to do. So I
Right.
have that as well on my table.
I love that. But that's absolutely true. It's waking up every day. It's doing the things that you really don't want to do, but knowing that you have to do them in order to get to your goals. There's no way around any of the stuff that we do. There is no easy road. There is no anything like that. Tulika, let me ask you this question and we'll start to wrap up.
Uh-huh.
Is there a magic secret to doing real estate and being successful?
Same, you said it right now. Doing, knowing what to do at boring stuff and doing it any which ways. That's the only thing. And yes, conversation. Talk as much as you can and keep them in your database and follow up with them.
Mhm.
Keeping the numbers there are. I have my fair shares where I have made my mistakes too, where I have not followed up with them, and it cost me $15,000 to $20,000.
Mm,
That's a pain. If you can afford that much pain, that's great. If not, don't let anybody slip through your fingers.
hmm I agree. So you would say the money is in the follow-up.
Oh, absolutely. I'm very thorough with my follow-up. I was not, but I have made my systems where I call them, text them, call them till the time they block me or they buy a house.
Right. Absolutely.
I've seen, I go
I
on
agree.
through people search and put their number on every 15 days. Did they buy any house? Did they buy any house?
That's so that's so true. Yeah, I send emails until people unsubscribe. Like that's the way that we have to do this thing. It is what it is, you know. Did we have any other
And
question?
Just one
yeah,
last question. How long you took for your first deal to close, Tulika? I'm a new, not new as such, but yes, 6 months old. So how long did you take to close your first deal?
I closed 2 deals in 6 months and two rentals.
That's amazing. That's
Right.
amazing.
You weren't here in the beginning. She said that her goal was to make back her investment in her first 6 months. She put a timeline on when she was going to get those deals. She actually only wanted one, and she ended up with two. So it's a good idea of giving yourself a deadline to say, I'm going to reach these goals by this such time, and then put your head down and go for it. That's exactly what she did.
Okay.
great. Hi, Tulika. Another question from Ruby.
Hi, Ruby.
Okay, I'm a very quiet and a very secret agent actually. So, how do I break that? I need tips from you, a couple of them.
Oh my God, me giving tips to Ruby. Yeah, that's you are the OG.
No.
So it's what I would say that make a target of speaking to two new people every day, just
Hmm
randomly. By my
Uh-huh.
what I intend to my elder one, she is. I'm sorry, I'm giving a lot of reference to my kid because that's how
Oh
I
yeah.
think I keep on learning from them and not teaching them as well. She
hmm
doesn't like to speak to new people every time. So I say, okay, today one new people you are going to talk to, go randomly, say hi and come back, goes randomly and give a compliment to another person. So that's
hmm
how I also started. Okay, how should I break the ice? The main thing
hmm
is everybody wants to talk. They are already, you know,
hmm
they have their own set of life. They want,
Yeah.
they're going on with the same regular thing, new face, new talks. It provides a little spice to the conversation. So
hmm
if there's some random people coming to you and say, oh, I like the way you're dressed up, and make it genuine. Somebody who's wearing PJs to the grocery store, and I would never say that you look amazing. Yeah, absolutely not. But again, if something you notice, people sometimes they do, but again there might be something that they are I went up and spoke to somebody who was wearing her kids shoes and they had all cartoons over it, and she was in ShopRite. I was like, oh, were you in a rush to wear your kids shoes? And she was like, oh my God, you caught me correct. And then how the conversation went ahead. So she said, I was just leaving and I couldn't see my shoe and I was running out of milk. So I said, well, who is going to see me? I said, no, people see you. You don't go unnoticed. And
Right.
she was laughing. She had such a nice time. I could make it out that she's enjoying the conversation. Then I gave her my card. I should have taken her number, but instead, usually I do. I don't give my card. I said, oh, I'm this, and then I say, can you give me a number? I'll text you my. Then when they ask for the business card, I just take their number and text my business card to them so that I have their number.
Hmm.
It works
Yeah.
sometimes. 90%
Yep.
it works, 10% it doesn't. Where the
Right.
10% it doesn't work, I just give them my card to them.
Yeah. I agree.
Yep.
I agree.
Excellent.
And
So the
just go and give
takeaway,
compliments.
yeah, the takeaway from there is, and this is a good practice for those that are feeling like a little overwhelmed when it comes to speaking to people, is exactly what she said, which is speaking to two new people a day, right? It's easy to, go up to someone and, or you're standing in line at the grocery store. This weather is, I can't wait for summer, right?
Mhm. Yeah,
Little comments spark conversation just out of nowhere. You're standing in there and there's a magazine with a headline like, "Oh, I can't believe such and such," or have random thoughts out loud. I do that a
yeah,
lot where I'm just like thinking about something and I'll just blurt it out loud. And
yeah,
it gets people around you to start talking as well, based on what you see or what's going on and things like that. You get people to just start talking to you, kind of situation. I mean, I do have, 20 plus years as a bartender, so I'm a little bit different as talking to people, but I do it all
oh,
the time.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
So,
great. Yeah.
but for those people, I would say a good practice would be to go out and have two new conversations a day, and then it gets you in the habit of speaking to new people, and you start to pick up on what your conversation looks like, right? What your 2 second or 30-second conversation would look like. How do you start it with people? What is it? What are your questions? What are your answers? What are your jokes you throw in there, right? And you
Right.
start to formulate a bit of a script that you're going to use for every single person that you talk to. And
Mhm.
every
Hmm.
conversation that you talk to someone, you can use the same script. It doesn't have to change. If it
Yeah,
Yeah.
works,
it
stick
does.
with it,
Yep.
Yeah, I
right?
spoke. I
Yep.
spoke
Yep.
with I when it's a group, like when I go in a girls' Cub Scouts meeting and there are a group of people around and we're having conversation. Oh wow, that's great! I pick up one line that has not gone wrong with to promote that I'm a realtor.
Hmm.
I tell them, if one thing, if you go back the back in time and you could redo it, what it would be. And I was like, oh, I would do this, I would do that, I'll buy Apple shares and this and that. I said, you know what I'll do? I'll buy all the townhomes. And then I'll come back here and then I'll sell them. He said, okay, really, that's a good idea. How do you? Then I come, because I sold a house for $700,000. That was worth about 300 in five last 5 years back. If I would have bought in
Hmm.
18, oh,
That's
you're a
correct.
realtor. Okay, yeah, great. And then, it builds up.
Right,
Uh,
right,
uh,
right.
yeah. Hey, Tulika, I have a quick question for you. Sorry to break it.
Hi, Anna.
Yeah, hi. When you are doing a presentation, listing or whatever, presentation to an agent, as an agent,
Mm-hmm.
I would like to know more about how do you sound informative about the real estate? Like, how do you prepare and where can I get those videos where you can look up? Because knowledge is power, right? And you can speak confidently when you know things.
Right.
Agent, it's a lot to learn about how do you talk and how do you present. And you have to know a lot of information.
Lot of information. I I go on David Radney's call a lot. I listen to how his listing presentations. It's all free, so you can subscribe to his call, log in and get that registered to his call and attend those calls. When you have knowledge, you sound confident. When you're
Mhm.
doing things, you sound confident. Confidence comes from just doing it repetitively.
Right.
So I take the information, I write it down. I'm so many times I'm scared in front of the seller or the buyer, and I am just saying, oh no, I know more than him. I know more than him. I keep on saying that to myself,
Mhm.
and just practice. You have to know what to say next.
Right.
I also have made lot of mistakes where I'm thinking of what to say next and
Mhm.
can't hear what my buyer or seller
So
is
you got to
saying.
research a lot. So before going to the client, all
Oh,
about
yes,
what kind
every
of
and as
person.
as if you're showing it to a buyer, right? How many houses we show? We show them couple of them, three, four, five.
Mhm.
I go to every showing as if that's the house for them. I have memorized all the year, the make, the benefit, the tax, so that when they are talking, I don't have to look. Oh, the tax. Let me check. Oh, this is the tax. I have
Mm-hmm.
memorized it, and it doesn't stay in the memory when you're showing 4 5 house. I have small post-it notes in my car. I note it down. I put it on before each showing. So when I have the post-it stuck on my car, and when I reach that home, I know exactly what it is. And you go inside the house as if
Mm-hmm.
you are the listing agent. You know the
Mm-hmm.
house plus minus. Imagine going to a house and the buyer says, "Oh, let's see the basement." Oh, does this house has a basement?
Mm-hmm.
That means you haven't done your homework. You cannot
Mm-hmm.
Right.
sell something that they don't see it in you knowing with your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about confident, and we cannot be confident enough till the time we keep on practicing it.
Yeah.
I do
Mm-hmm.
that.
And the terms of houses, there's so many terms, right? You have to know all that.
Not the term. They don't ask the term all over on the house. They just ask you the basic key points. When you're
Mm-hmm.
taking the house, you don't have to memorize the whole MLS sheet. There are
Yeah.
few things you'll see that all the buyers have in common. They ask
Right.
exactly the same things.
Mhm.
So you know what they're going to ask and what you want them to what you want that particular point to shine out. So if they have done the kitchen and they have done the furnace and they have taken the time to get it done completely in and out, so you have that particular point and enhance that point to them when you're talking to them. You don't have to say,
Mm-hmm.
oh, the floor was done in 1820, or this was done there and this was done there. You just pick the points and the question that they ask.
Mm-hmm.
Got.
I agree.
Thank
I
you.
always I was trained to think about it in a way of, if you're going to make $10,000 off of a transaction, wouldn't you think to give $10,000 worth of studying to it, right? And
Mm,
investing your time into getting there so that you can make the money. So it's
absolutely.
like, what are you willing, how much time are you willing to spend to learn this property so that you can get this property either sold or bought?
Hmm. Absolutely.
That's what it boils down to at the end of the day. Um, I think we've got a a really good amount
Yeah,
here
but
from
what
Tulika today.
listing? I need a listing input more. Like, how do you go for prep for listing presentation, and what kind of most challenged questions you got on a listing presentation from the seller?
Uh, I am losing right now listening to Jane Muller, so I'm very upset with that. That's apart from that, going to the listing presentation, I prepare my listing. I have a sheet where that's a listing package for me. I drop it usually on the emails. I send them an email
Mhm.
just to go through, and I carry with them with me as well. In listing, most of the time people have another agent that are working it for lesser cost that they are doing. I just did one that's what I got it. They were negotiating with another buyer who was another seller who was seller agent who was charging him more. And I said, "Are you?" Then he asked me, "Why are you charging? What's your commission?" I said, "If I go ahead and reduce my commission to 1%, and your house that's worth 720 will be sold for 650, does my 1% help you? Or if I sell that house for
Mhm.
720 and I charge 3%, does it
That's a
make any
great,
difference?"
that's a
Mhm.
great input. Yes,
Yeah. So I said, what I hear from you is you're concerned about the net number, right? You're not
Mhm.
concerned about how much I'm making and taking money for my family.
Mhm.
So that was the one that got me this listing that will be coming up in March.
Hmm. And that's
great.
a great point as well. It's a system I was taught as well, is to focus on your client's net, not
Yeah.
focus on how much they're paying you. Okay,
Yeah.
if your house is worth 650 and you actually really need to net 550, does it matter how much I'm making between that margin?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Because
Doesn't.
they are very much focused on how much we are making and why are we making that much.
Well, then
Exactly.
that's a value proposition situation then, which is to showcase why you're worth 3%, why you're worth 4%, why you're worth 2.5%, whatever your percentage amount is. Why is it that why should I pay you that much? What makes you better than a 1% agent or a 2% agent?
Right. Yesterday, I was speaking with one expired listing,
Hmm.
and he was complaining about how bad the agent was. and he had listed the house that's worth like 570-ish for 675. That would never sell in this market. It was the
Mm-hmm.
house on the market for the last 6 months, and he
Mm-hmm.
finally rented it out. But he's definitely looking to sell it by this December.
Mm-hmm.
So he's in my pipeline. But the concern was he was very adamant, expressing his concern about the other agent who did not do the job. He was
Mm-hmm.
worth it. He was not, and he was not. He didn't do any work properly. Photographs from the phone, so anything could
Mm-hmm.
go wrong was there on that listing. And I
Mm-hmm.
asked him,
Mhm.
did you had a price consultation with your tenant, with your agent? He said no. I just told him that price it for 675, and he priced it, and it was sitting for 6 months in the market. So I went to the question mode, like, what did it help you? And he
Mm-hmm.
came up with he answered his own question, that why his listing did not sell.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, say, if you are going to sit with me, I would be the one. I will guide you. You pick your choose, and then I'll tell you what will happen. But do you want 6 months to be there in the market, or you want it to be sold?
Right.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, because I had a seller last year listing in Pike Run here in Montgomery. They wanted to sell for 100,000 more than what is valued, and I had already shown them the comps, and that I have faced that kind of challenge couple of times, and
Yes.
they eventually did not list it. But
Mm-hmm.
then at least I guided them. They listed it, but they withdraw it because the tenant was giving issues. But anyway, how do you deal with that kind of, again, like, it's the price there. No, we spend so much money. No, I'm like, I told it's going to sit there. I will list it, but it's going to sit there. It's a very high
Yeah.
price. It's not going. So
Yeah.
I also talk about the pricing in the beforehand. I list them. I just listed a rental where the house, it was going for exactly for 2,000, 2,150 max to max, but he wanted it 2,500. So we lowered it down to 2,400. I knew it won't go for that. So I went ahead and talked to him that this is not going. You want it will be there in the market. It would not be my concern, but I don't want you. I'm not playing a blame game that it did not rent because of me. I'm just guiding you. You pick your, you choose your pick. Do you want to sit in the
Mm-hmm.
market for so many times, or do you want to get it done? What time you have? Can you
Mm-hmm.
afford those 6 months? Then very, very good. Rent it for 3,000. But if you want to get it within 3 months, you have to lower it down. So he finally lowered it down to 2,200. So it's your
Mm-hmm.
choice. Do you want to just guide them? And if we have to take the listing, they can revise the term and then put it on.
yeah, yeah, I did so
Yes.
much. I did guide them, but they were like, okay. I'm like,
Um,
okay, whatever you want. People don't
Cool.
sometimes.
then they
Yep,
blame
thank
the
you.
agent.
Well,
Then
I
they
think
blame the
we.
Yeah,
agent.
no, they didn't blame me, obviously, because I had already said that's the
Oh,
best part that, we have to
Yeah.
let them know, hey, it's because I know this is not the price it's going to sell for, but just because you're telling, but I'm letting you know it's going to sit there. Simple,
Cool.
straightforward.
Cool. I think we I think we hit our mark. Definitely got a lot of great information. I don't want to hold everybody
Thank you,
hostage on the
Lawrence.
call.
Thank you, Tulika.
Tulika,
thank
I
you.
do appreciate you coming on, giving us all this great information. Let's give it up one time for Tulika
Yeah,
and all
super
this
helpful. Thank
great
you.
stuff.
Yay!
Thank you.
All
I
these
hope I
jewels and gems that
brought
she dropped
value.
on us today.
You.
This was really, really great. Make sure you do watch this one again to get all her jewels and gems. If you missed any, Super Bowl party is on Sunday from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. And reach out to myself or Tulika if you have any comments, questions, or concerns. She will, Tulika, if you can drop those the call information
Yep.
for those calls that you go on. If you want to put that in our WhatsApp group so that all
Oh,
the agents,
okay.
our office can start to attend
Okay.
those calls as well.
Sure.
And we can all use those, and that will be very helpful for all of us. So I do appreciate you all coming on today. Thank you again, Tulika. I hope you all have a great weekend. Happy Super Bowl.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you so much.
Tulika. Thank
Thank
you.
Yeah,
you. Thank you so much.
have a great weekend, everyone. Thanks a lot.
Thank
Stay
you. Thank
warm.
you, Lawrence.
Good luck.